Hello, everyone. Hi, welcome to Stampin' to Connect. I'm Jeanette Collins, and I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from the Texas area, Central Texas. So I'm so glad to be here, and I hope you are ready to see a cute card. I'm going to be using this pattern of what I call a side flip fun fold. Okay. This one I use the little nuts about you or nuts about squirrels stamp set. So you can see the one squirrel here that is featured. And then when I flip the front over, you see the other squirrel. So I think that's just so cute. And then it also shows off beautiful designer series paper. DSP is what I was trying to say. So you have the coordinating designer paper that you get to show off too. I think this is just such a cute little layout. So I want to get started. Let's go. I'm going to go ahead and switch the camera and let's see. Make it small. Let's see if I can do that. I think this is the way. Oops, let's do it the other way. There it goes. Okay. I want to bring out my papers, the colors that I'm going to be using today, because I think especially this birthday piggy should be with bright, happy colors. So today I'm using Tahitian Tide as my card base. Okay. And we're going to be manipulating that. And then I'm going to use these three designer pieces of paper. I'm going to use this one because I thought, gosh, look at the red in the little mushrooms, but also you have the pretty blue and it's the lighter blue. So it makes a nice contrast to this. And then I'm going to be using the assortment paper from this assortment pack. And I'm using this side of the red with the little dots. I think that's so cute. And I think those go together so well. But then I was looking for another happy red one. And I found this. This is actually from the Christmas paper. So that doesn't match exactly, but it goes. And they're not going to necessarily sit right together. So you'll see what I mean. Now for my accent color, what I decided to use was soft saffron. And this will be to break up the color. And also it's where my piggies will sit. They will be placed on top of this as the contrast. So let's see, anything else I need to show you before you get started? Well, what I want to do, first of all, is cut our cardstock because this is a full sheet, as you can see. So I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Up! Cutter. And we're going to cut so I can show you how easy it is to cut this. I want you to be able to see my arm. And let's see if we can get it to focus. I think that's the hardest thing with using a webcam is getting it to focus. All right, so we're going to start with the long side. And what I mean is I'm going to turn my paper vertical and I'm going to put it in there and I'm just going to score it at 4 1/4 for this card. And actually it's like making your normal base. I've got to use my glasses to see the little numbers. So we're going to score it at 4 1/4, just like we would when we're making our card bases. And this is the score runner right here. So you just want to run it up and down at 4 1/4 until you see your score line. You can barely see it. I can see it right there. Okay, now we've got it scored long ways. Now we're going to turn it horizontally and we are going to cut at 5 1/2. Okay, I'm placing it at 5 1/2, and we're going to use the darker tool that cuts it in half. Now we have two card bases, basically. Here's one that would measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and it's a side folding. or you can make it a horizontal top fold, but we're going to use it as a side fold. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to put this one aside because this is the one we're going to use. Now, in order to make that flip card, you can see I've got this cut off here. So I'm going to cut off my cardstock where I have 3 inches on this side, and then that leaves me 1 1/4 that will cut off. Okay, so here's my cardstock and here's my fold. I'll go ahead and fold it with a bone folder to make it crease really nicely. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it at 1 1/4 because we need that 3 inches on this side. So 1 1/4. Put my arm down. Whoop. And we're going to use the dark one and cut. Now, let's make sure it's measured correctly. We should have 3 inches. And as you can tell, I do 3 inches there. And so as you can see from the 3 on out, that leaves 1, we measure it right here, 1 1/4. So that's the correct size. Now, what we want to use this piece for is we're going to use it to make that flap. Where's my card sample I made with the squirrels? We have to add this flap mechanism so that we can put our focal points on that. So we're going to use what we just cut off, which is now 1 1/4. We can remeasure it. There it is. There's the 1 and there's the 1/4. So it's 1 1/4. And we're going to cut it to 4 inches. That's all we need. So I'm going to cut at 4. And then we're going to score at 1. So I'm going to move it over here to the 1. And now we want to score it at the 1 to make the bend in the side of the card. Okay, that's all we need for that. Okay. All right. Now what I want to do is get this glued onto my card. I've already folded it, and I'm going to go ahead and burnish it down. It always helps. Okay. Now we do not want to put it on like this, because if we do, I mean, it looks fine this way until you turn it over, and then you would have that stuck there. And it's not that big of a deal, but we can make it cleaner where you don't have it there. So what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to put it here. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn that, do they call that the valley? We're going to turn it over. I think that's how, no, we do want to keep it this way. Okay, we want that ridge up, and then we're just going to put it behind. Okay, so now you have to figure out, where do you want to put that swing mechanism? Now we can put it straight in the middle. So I'm looking at my lines of my grid. Okay, and I can tell I'm straight, and there's a line on top and bottom. So the center would most likely be, it looks like it would be about right there. Okay, maybe a little lower. I have to go 1/4 inch lower. Okay, it's really close. I'm catching it from underneath. All right, so you can center it, but I'm going to move it up just a little bit. I'm going to move it up to this 3/4, to this spot, just a little bit. Maybe I can come down just a little. And it doesn't matter where you put it. You can decide. And I'm going to hold it here, and I'm going to turn this flap over. I've got the mechanism underneath the card, and I'm going to put my glue on. I'm going to put my glue on this side. So here's my glue, and let's get this going. Come on. Okay, and then flip this over and hold it down just a few seconds to let it grab. Hope you're having a good day. I am. I'm in my happy place today. Today is September 29th, 2022. Today is Thursday. Yeah. Okay, now I can flip my card and I have my little mechanism. Okay, so that looks good. I'm gonna make sure it's gonna fit. What we're gonna be doing is putting these 3 1/4 squares as our mats. So this is what it will look like. And so then when it flips open, I'll put it on the outside first, flips open, it will be here. Like, I always like to try it out. Make sure I didn't go too high. It will flip out like that. Okay. So I showed you the colors of the paper I'm going to use. Now let's get them on there. Okay. I'm using the mushroom paper, the cute red color, and it's cut. This is the one we cut, like if you cut off the that tab here, we're going to make it just I think it's got to be a 1/4 inch smaller. Let's see. It's going to fit right here. So that's going to look right. So it's 1 1/4 by 4 1/4 because we want it to be 5 1/4 because this is 5 1/2. So 1 1/4 by 5 1/2, 5 1/4. Woo! Get those measurements right. So that's what that's going to look like. And then I have 2 pieces of the designer paper cut at 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to use this color with the pretty red on the outside. Again, it's 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. That's what we're cutting this one to. And they will line up like so. Okay. Let's get those on right now. Actually what I want to do, I'm going to hold off on this one. I'm going to put the front one on first. Okay, let me use my glue. And then I'll show you my piggies. I didn't even show you the stamp. Oh my goodness. Let me show you the stamp. Right now, the stamp and the dies are in our Perfect Partners promotion. And you can get this as a bundle until September 31st. And that is, today is Thursday. No, is today Thursday? Friday? Until Friday. Because October 1st is Saturday. Okay, let me move this over just a little bit. Okay, that's pretty good. And then what I want to do is go ahead and put the normal size card on the inside that we'll be writing on. So this is a 1/4 inch cut shorter. So this will be 4 by 5 1/4. And we'll glue this in. Yeah, Stampin' Up! Came out with This Birthday Piggy in the annual catalog. And now this month, they added dies to I think there's 6 sets, 6 stamp sets that are either in the annual catalog or in the mini catalog that now have their matching dies. And this birthday piggy is one of them. Now I can add this, because we want it to fit right there. So kind of at the edge of that white piece. That's what I found is the easiest way. And then it closes like so. We can go over it maybe just a little. Nah, we wanted to show that blue. I think that's cute. Okay, so let me glue this one in. Let me show you this stamp set. I keep talking about it. There's the birthday piggy, This Birthday Piggy. And I have the stamps out that I used today. It's this cute little piggy playing in the, like laying in the dirt. And this one's got the birthday cake. We got a little butterfly. I'm using these two sentiments. This little piggy says happy birthday and go to your happy place and stay there all day. That would be a good thing for a birthday. And then I've got these two dies that I'm using that came with the set, with the die set. And it's for my sentiment. I'm using it on this one. And then I'm going to cut out the little butterfly too so I can move it around. So that's all the dies I'm using out of this set, but I am using a couple more from the Stylish Shapes. Okay, let's keep putting this together. I started earlier today at 1 o'clock, and I forgot that the bug people are coming to, spray the house and everything. So I had to let them in, and the only way I knew to do it was just to stop, because she wanted to talk to me for a long time and stuff. So I'm like, well, I'll just start the recording over. So that's why I'm coming at an odd time. Okay, now look at this. Isn't that precious? And we have our arm, the side flip to come over. Now this piece is the same size as this other red. I think I told you it was 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. And that one's going to go here. Now, see, the reason why I chose this one, because it still goes nicely with the mushrooms, but it's way over here, so it doesn't have to be exact. And it's not close to this one, so again, they're not fighting each other. So that was my thinking when I was designing it and picking out the papers. Okay. I know. What are the odds that she would come right in the middle of my of my recording? But I didn't know what to do, so I just stopped. I remembered, of course, my husband did say, oh yeah, we're going to have the bug people come today. Don't forget. Well, didn't think she'd come right at the time. Okay, so now we have our mechanism and our paper put in there. Isn't that cute? So we have a place to write, and we have the card with the coordinating paper, which is so fun. You can show off your paper. Now I have 3 1/4 squares of So Saffron, and I'm going to use this to place my piggies on. So what we need to do now is place them where they're going to be back to back on the flip flap right there, because that's how it's going to be. 3 1/4 square, and then we'll fold them over. But how do I glue that? Oh my gosh. Well, there's an easy way. All you do is just put your flap down, and then you're going to be looking at, just set it on top and be looking at, no, actually, you're going to put the bottom one in first. That's what will make it easier. You're going to be looking at where it falls, and you're going to be looking at the sides and how much of the color of paper you have. And I think that's about good. Now, this is not exactly in half, but that's okay. What I want is to see that, I've got a straight border there, straight and straight here. I might pull it just a little bit. Now that I have this, I just have to remember that I can't go past this mark, okay? So it's probably, let's just measure it, 1/2 inch. We can't go past the 1/2 inch mark from the inside. So if we put my ruler there, that means we can't glue past that 1/2 inch mark. So like right here. Okay. Put my cap on my pen. Doesn't dry out. Okay, so now I'm going to get my glue again, and let's glue this on top. This makes it very easy. Okay, put it back where I want it, looking at how straight I want it. About seeing it's going to be up taller. I can move it up just a tiny bit more. And let's close this flap there. And we want to just press this. You can use your bone folder to press it. Okay, so we have that. Now, if there's any glue, like right here, I see a little bit peeking out because I didn't measure very well. And it doesn't matter. We can use a rag or something and just kind of wipe it off. And that's what I'm doing here. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the other flap on top. And then that makes that easy. But now I don't have to worry about just gluing here. I can glue on the whole, on the So Saffron and the blue, because they're just going to sandwich together. There. Okay, they're sandwiching together. And like I said, you can move the flip mechanism and you can center it so it'd be the center of the card, because that's what I did in my other sample. Let me show you again. This was my sample that I did with the Nuts About Squirrels. And when you flip it, you see the other squirrel here, but it just flips. And I've got this one centered. So if I put it on this blue card, you can see how much higher I am. So it's about a 1/4 inch higher, and that's okay. All right, now let's go ahead and finish the card. I've already stamped and colored my piggies, and I die cut them. I want to show you again. This little piggy says, "Happy birthday," sticking to my fingers, and go to your happy place and stay there for a while. I'm using, where's my stylish shapes? There they are. I'm using the stylish shape dies. Love them. And the largest one, or the second largest, let me make sure. Just might as well pull them out and measure. I think it is the second one. Yep. Okay, so it's not the largest circle, it's the second largest circle. I used that one. And for sure, I used the largest square, okay, from here. And I also used this die, the one in the center here, for this particular sentiment, because I wanted to use the one that came with the set, the piggy set, and I used it on here. And then I just wanted another one because it was a little longer, and I wanted to die cut everything at the same time. So that's what I used. If you don't have stylish shapes, if you're still, going, oh, I have circle stuff, I don't need it. Yeah, you do. This is such a great set. Great set. I use it all the time. And I'm sure you hear that all the time too. Okay, so now we've got our base, what to put on our card. So I'm going to put the birthday guy or girl right here in the center, and see how it makes a nice little border all the way around. And I'm going to use this little piggy says happy birthday down here. There's perfect room for that little sentiment. Now, if I would have put it down, I might have put it up here, but it's going to go on the red part. So I like that. And I'm going to just glue it down. I'm not using dimensionals because this card already, has the flipping mechanism. And okay. And I use that real pretty blue to color that balloon. That's the only one blue color in my, to kind of coordinate with the Tahitian tide. And then I chose the yellow. I was trying other colors, But when I realized I colored my cake yellow, then it just made sense because it's a contrasting color for the red. So there we go. And let's put this. Now I could probably put this piggy. Says happy birthday on. I think I will put the sentiment on dimensionals. Just a few. I think 3 is enough. Okay. Take these little guys, the tops off. All right. Whoops. Got a little top there hanging off. I'm just going to line it up, the edge of the saffron there, and just place this on. I think that looks good. I just love the way it looks. I just think it's so cute. And then let's put our other piggy over here. So you don't have to use this piggy, this birthday piggy. If you have the squirrels, you can use them. If you have some other little critters, like what were the other ones? I mean, we've had so many little critters, but all you need to do is find a critter and then put them on, stamp them on the white and then color them in, and then just coordinate your papers. Like I said, I would coordinate these 3 pieces and then find a contrasting color to go over here. All right, so this is going to be go to your happy place and stay there all day. So I'm going to move him up just a little bit like this and glue him down, and then I'll put this on Stampin' Dimensionals. If you're watching on replay, please give me a comment and say hello. I do want to connect with you. That's why I call my business Stamping to Connect, because I think the very, very important thing for as a Stampin' Up demonstrator is to connect people and just to be with people. So that's why I'm involved with Stampin' Up for the community. Okay. So now I'm putting this piggy kind of, like I said, toward the top, and I'm just gluing them down. Use my bone folder, and now I'll put the sentiment on dimensionals. Okay, I'm going to put these a little closer together. I love this little set though, and I'm so excited I got the dies. I hope you did too. And if not, you just have a couple more days. Today is the 29th. Gosh, I'm so confused about what the days are. I need to look. Because I thought September had. Oh, and here's where I placed the little butterfly. I went ahead and glued him onto my sentiment. I thought that was so cute because I was like, I'm not sure. I was going to maybe put him up here, that little butterfly up there, or here flying to the flowers. But I decided to put it on the sentiment. Okay, and I'm just going to put this. I can put it like partially onto that there. Onto the circle even. There. Okay. Now, the only thing that's lacking is some jewels. Oh, and I have the perfect ones. Isn't this cute, though? It's just so cute. I love it. I love the flap because it does show off your critters, whatever critter you're going to put in there. And then it shows off the designer paper, and then gives you plenty of room to write. You can actually put happy birthday here again and then write your sentiment. I think that's neat. Okay, the jewels I'm going to use today are the iridescent rhinestones basic jewels. These are new and they are lovely, just beautiful. And why these are nice is because they're clear, but then they have that Aurora Borealis, I think it's the right word. So it picks up the color. So whatever color it's on, it's going to, you know, shine that. Where's my poke tool? Here we go. Okay, I'm going to get these off and put a few of these on. Okay, let's start with the front. I think we need a large iridescent, maybe here. Let's make it 3. Let's put there, probably here, and maybe a little one on the there. We'll just go to the different sizes. They've got large, what I put here, a medium, and let's use it small. I love Stampin' Up's jewels. You know why? Because they already have the glue dots on them. I used to make cards with other company names, and all the jewels we had to, you know, you had to put on the glue, and then you had to find the little jewel, and you had to try to make it connect. And it's just so hard. So love Stampin' Up. Not only for the images and the paper and the coordination and everything, but also for those jewels. Look, now isn't that pretty? It just adds that little bit of sparkle. And let's put a couple here. Let's see. I think we're going to put a large one. Over here. A middle one, a middle size. I'm going to put it up here too because my third one's going to be here, the tiny one. Ta-da, there we go. And that is the card today. Oh, I know what else I wanted to put. I keep forgetting these things. I have the Tahitian tied metallic ribbon that you can get these in all the in colors, and the poppy, is it the poppy red? The sorbet is kind of a funny red, so it's not true to color, but the rest of them are. And so I like using this, and I've already tied my bow into I have 3 strands, as you can see, 1, 2, 3. So I took 3 strands and then just tied a normal little bow, and there you go. It's so cute. And I left it long because I wanted to see where I wanted to put this, because I wasn't sure. Might be just a little bit too big. I wonder if I put it up here. No, it has to be up here. Not sure if it's too much. Let me look. Get these to come forward. All right, I think what I'm going to do is just cut these little strands off. I could make the bow just a little bit smaller too. That might be better. Just pulling the tails there. And let me get my scissors, and I'm going to cut these ends off. Come here. Got to grab all 3. Gotta hold my tongue right. Okay, here we go. Woo! And then I'm maybe cut these a little smaller too. There. And I'm pulling them. Yeah, that bow is a little smaller. I think that looks better. Yay, it looks so festive. Glue dot to hold it in place. Now, you don't have to add the bow if you just like the jewels and the plainer look. That's good too. But again, this is a happy card with the piggy, so why not? I'm going to put this glue dot right here, kind of at the corner of my yellow soft saffron card stock, and press this in, and there. Look at that. So cute. So there's the card. I think it bow added a little bit to it, and you still have the little sparkles. Then you turn it over, and the bow shows from that side too. And then you can put happy birthday in there and write your sentiment. I just love that. I think that's so, so cute. Of course, I did a lot of other piggy cards. Let me go through them real quick because I had so much fun. Here are my other piggy cards. Okay, so this is the one today. I made this one. Yeah, there it is. And then, of course, I had so much fun with all the dies. That little wagon is just to die for. So cute. And so I did that one. And then I just used my fancy dies, the circle dies for that, and just kind of placed them on there and put my piggy on this one. That was so fun. This one I love too because that paper, you know, that came from that specialty paper that was in our celebration. So, and then the piggy, and use the Tahitian tide again. Now this little piggy right here, oh my gosh. You can tell what I did here is I used the contour dies, to cut this piggy out, and I placed it on dimensionals. But what I also did is I cut a slit into the paper, because this is all one piece of paper, the designer paper, so I could kind of stick him down in there. So I thought that turned out good, and I used those little jewels because they kind of match. So yeah, so that was another one. Here I did the pretty gray, and this is just so simple. It's just 3 strips of paper, and then that's just that assortment paper. And again, what I did here, I used as a mat over there. So not necessarily in the same order, but it worked. So, and actually it's from I did it because I did the flowers 3 different colors. And then I took and punched out, that's dies. That's from the die set of the piggy dies. And then just put the little jewels in there. So I have the 3 colors there that match these 3 colors. And then I stacked them here. So that was so fun too. I just really enjoyed this set. And then here's another one I did with the yellow, and I put the strips down and put the red to bring out that. And this is that same. And then here it is. This little piggy says happy birthday with that strip there. So, and then I did a Christmas one too. Oh my gosh. This is with the, look, I made it jeweled up with the, so I had a lot of fun putting him in the wagon with the Christmas packages. And I used that DSP to make it look like, you know, he's riding on the snow. So in the snow. So that's all my piggy cards I've made so far. I want to continue with them. I think they're just precious, and I hope, you know, because they're so happy. They are just so happy. So here's today's again. I'm glad you were with me. I hope you enjoyed this. I call it a side flip fun fold, just like that. It's great because it can show off 2 images that are similar. So if you have the critters, the hedgehogs, whatever, you can put in there and just coordinate your colors. And if you want to go back and watch, and so you can see how I chose the colors, please do. So thank you for being here. I'm Jeanette Collins. You're at Stampin' to Connect. If you decide to shop with me, please use that host code at the top. Appreciate it. And I will see you next time, which will probably be next week. So thank you again, and have a great afternoon and evening. Bye.